Welcome to the NBA Pub Hub, Pub Sports Radio, Wednesday, March 23rd. Ian Cameron, Dutch Boy Fresh, Trot Wham on the eve of, for at least for me, San Antonio. We'll be leaving tomorrow. Looking forward to getting down there. Sweet 16 tomorrow night. Houston, Arizona, Michigan, Villanova. It's going to be phenomenal. Looking forward to that. But before we get there, we've got a Wednesday to get through, and that includes capping an NBA card and trying to pick some winners on this NBA card. It's a huge slate. We've got, it looks like 11 games on this NBA slate on the Wednesday night edition. So let's go to Atlanta, Detroit. We'll start it off there. We've got the Hawks 4.5-point favorites in this game. The total right now, 227.5 across the board. I'm looking at the Detroit side here in this game. The Pistons have just been this money-making machine for me for weeks. I've talked about it endlessly. Every time Detroit comes up, we talk about the point spread success they've had, and rightfully so. I mean, it's been just an incredible run for Detroit of cashing tickets. It came to an end the last game against Portland. They were actually 9.5-point favorites. They lost the game 119-115 against the Blazers. So finally, the streak came to an end, but they were laying points. They're back where they are at their best, if you ask me, and that's when they're catching points, when they are an underdog. You've got Atlanta coming back after a big win against the Knicks last night, 117-111. Trae Young was just amazing down the stretch. Really good in that whole game, but especially late to put it away for the Hawks. Now they're on a back-to-back, third game in 4-night situation. Detroit, it's only going to be their third game tonight in a longer span, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 nights. So definitely a rest advantage for Detroit. Atlanta on the back-to-back on the road. I like Detroit here, plus 4.5, plus 5. I think they give Atlanta a really, really tough game here in this one tonight. Dutch, we'll start with you. What do you like, Atlanta, Detroit?
Yeah, man. Real quick, salute to the ladies, gents, and D-gents for tuning in. You already know it's all love. It is West Coast Wednesday, and the NBA is a hell of a drug. And you're looking at the plugs. Yeah, man. Hey, be sure to like them, hit the like button, share the video. Everybody in the chat, JPZ, THC, RZA, Paulie Walnuts, Mr. H-Town. I see everybody in here. We on our way to the motherfucking bag. But be sure to smash the like button and share the video because we got to get some motherfucking money because we're going to be spending some money this weekend, believe it. But we're going to be making some today. In this game, you know, like, I ain't going to lie to you. I would bet the Pistons here, but I got two big bets today, so I don't have to bet the Pistons here. You know me, I don't like firing really forcing bets, but it's Detroit or nothing here for me. And it was at 5, and it did stand out to me. There's a tough game yesterday. Shout out to, you know, Trae Young handling business in the NY. He turns into another dude out there. You know, he's not really my guy, but damn, he busted their ass and let him know about it too. I could
Take a bow. Take a bow.
Yeah. Shout out to him because not only did he bust his ass when it counts, you know, he kind of let him know about it. I kind of like that. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, I do expect him to be a little tight. I wouldn't even be surprised if somebody sits tonight because that was a tough game. And these boys played him tough recently as well. But we know Atlanta, man. You know, they did get it done yesterday without Julius, and they obviously against the Knicks without Julius, and they made it a sweater. But man, I don't know if you want to go back and back the Hawks on the road because they have been a fade. But some other numbers standing out to me in this game as well is they're 1-11, the Hawks last 12 after a win against the number. So they're not very well in the spot. 0-4 ATS last 4 after a cover as well. 1-7 ATS last 8 as a favorite. So not only do we not like Atlanta on the road, a lot more trends here look towards the Pistons. And obviously the Pistons have been, man, they make you sweat every fucking game. These are the type of motherfuckers that you watch, you bet, you cash, but god damn it, you got a turtleneck, you smoking all your weed, you drinking, you're yelling at your motherfucking lady, everything you do when you bet the Pistons. But at the end of the day, you fucking cash. They're 12-1-2 ATS last 15. 3-1-1 ATS last 4 at the house, and they're 8-0 last 8 in conference against the number. So I'd only look Detroit here, but we got a lot of games on the board, and I like a couple other ones a little bit more. But if you are betting this game, I believe it would be the Pistons.
All right, lean to the Pistons here for Dutch in this game. I like the over a little bit as well. Atlanta, I cashed my best bet. It was close. You talk about sweater last night with that over for my best bet on the show. Hawks and Knicks over 226. Man, we just got there with it, but we'll take it. It's a winner for the best bet. Happy about that. So I lean in that same direction tonight over the total. Atlanta been trending that way. And certainly we know Detroit actually has been kind of trending that way 3 straight for them. So I like the over a little bit. I like Detroit even more from a side perspective. All right, Wham, Hawks, Pistons.
Yeah, man, I'm right in agreement with you guys. I think Detroit is definitely in a better, favorable spot. Not only have they been covering, they've been covering the first half as well. Nine over the last 10 games. The Hawks 8-2. I'm sorry, 2-8 in the last 10 games as far as the against the spread record. I'm gonna key in on a prop. You already know what it is. We're gonna go with Jeremy Grant over 18.5 points. He's hit this number four straight of his games. Did sit out last game, probable today over 18.5 points. You're getting that minus 116 today. I think he gets that in between the games that he missed. He had a 40 burger, you know what I'm saying? So against a team that's without Collins, I was trying to get against Julius Randle yesterday against this team, for him to attack this position. But I think our guy Jeremy Grant, who's already been hitting this number, should be able to attack this position, especially off a roll back to back. So I do like that look. But I agree with you guys. I think Detroit is live today.
All right, there you go. Liking the Pistons as well. We welcome Skee Profit with us now as well. Skee, what do you think? Atlanta, Detroit.
First off, that was an exotic ass backwood from Dutch right there.
That was.
That was exotic as hell. But for myself, I like to play in this game. And more I think about it, I probably like another one. But initial play is Cade Cunningham over 21.5 points. He's averaging a little bit over 22 in the month of March. Atlanta, without rest, they're allowing the ninth most points per game in the NBA at 112, a little bit over 112. And just looking at the last 6 games for shooting guards, when they didn't have any rest, they're scoring 26.8 points per game. So I like Cade over his total tonight. But the more I think about this game, I get it. We don't like, and I have a live win total over 41.5. So I need them to win 6 out of the remaining 10 games I think they have. But I know we don't bet the Hawks on the road, but they better not sit nobody. They in that 10th spot in the East. Like, they fighting for the playoffs. Trae Young said earlier in the year, like in the beginning, it's hard to get up for these games. We don't really care. We just want to play in the playoffs. Well, you better get there. So I don't think anybody's going to sit. As far as I'm just looking up, the Hawks on the back-to-back.
Gallinari's out, by the way. Gallinari with the Achilles is out tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the Hawks without rest versus like lesser competition, and I see them lesser competition just meaning they don't have a winning record. They are 4-0 straight up, 3-1 against the spread. They win by an average 14.8 points per game. More I'm thinking about this, Hawks gonna whip that ass tonight. I like the Hawks, but if I'm liking anything from the Pistons, it's Cade points.
All right,
against
Cade,
the old rest advantage, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Sometimes
hey, it's that time of year right now where you got to give it all or nothing. You're making that push for the playoffs.
Yeah, it would be so Atlanta to lose tonight, though. It really would, because that's been the kind of year they've had. Just so up and down and erratic, and that's why they're in the position they're in. Sometimes when you're 10th and you're saying you've got to win, there's a reason why you got to win, because you haven't been winning every night. You've been inconsistent. So we'll see if they can avoid that tonight. All right, Sacramento, Indiana. We've got the Pacers 5-point favorites, 234. The total in this game. It's a tricky game here in these two teams. I don't want to necessarily lay points with Indiana, although they did beat down Portland 129-98. And before that, they beat Houston. They didn't cover, though. They only won by 3. So there you go. There's your evidence that it's not always easy to lay 5 with this team. Sacramento, look, they fought hard against Phoenix at home. They were embarrassed by Boston the game before that, but they took Phoenix to overtime, ended up losing 127-124 in this game. Unfortunately for Sacramento, no De'Aaron Fox, it looks like anyway. Unlikely to play. Hand injury. He hasn't been back on the practice court and expected to be out and miss his 3rd straight game for the Sacramento Kings. It looks like Terrence Davis, Domantas Sabonis also out for Sacramento tonight. On the Indiana side, you got injuries there. Malcolm Brogdon out. Isaiah Jackson, game time decision. Chris Duarte, game time decision. Tyrese Halliburton may not play due to a lower back injury, questionable. So you know what this means? This means there's too many question marks all around. For me, this is a backwood here, Sacramento and Indiana. Maybe if everybody's on the floor, and maybe if Fox was in, I might look the over. But without him, that's a lot of offense and a lot of the engine of that offense out for Sacramento. So that's probably also why the under's been hit. Total went down from 238 to 234. I think it's a reaction to Fox probably being out for Sacramento. So backwood for me. Wham, Sacramento, Indiana.
Yeah, man, you got to think that I think Tyrese Halliburton is going to play as well. But you got to think those two guys, Hield and Tyrese Halliburton, trying to stick it to this team as much as they can. They're already top 10 in offense over the last 5 games. Indiana at 8th spot. This team is bottom 5 in the defensive rating and only won one of their last 8 games. And the Kings, without Sabonis in the lineup, you're going to have Trey Lyles being relied there. So I do think he possibly could get the double-double at big plus money here. But I don't want nothing to do with Sacramento today. I'm only going to key in on my guy, Hallie, once he gets announced in, and then maybe Indiana full game. But I'm probably going to hop on Hallie first. I'm just going to wait until that gets announced.
All right, good stuff. Dutch, Kings, Pacers.
Yeah, big shout out to our guy Ray Charles. Ness Betts, I see you, my dude. Eric Nisbet, Rance, Tiffany driving, listening to the show. Drive safe, young lady, and appreciate you tuning in as always. Mr. THC Riz, I see you, my dude. But yeah, the chat knows it, man. The chat knows what this motherfucker is. Do I even gotta say it? My man, Skee, are you gonna touch this motherfucker? You hitting this Bam Bam?
Hey, if Halliburton is playing, you know what I'm saying? I agree with Wham. Halliburton and Buddy Hield want a little bit of, get back at Sacramento. Hallie was really trying to play over there. He was loving Sacramento. He was like, y'all gonna trade me?
Yeah.
You gonna do this to me? You know what I'm saying? So I like Halliburton tonight if he's playing, and I would understand why the Pacers are big favorites.
Yeah, I agree with that. In theory, conceptually, it makes perfect sense. Halliburton wants to go out there and stick it to the man. Stick it to the man. And the man in this case is Sacramento, who traded him away. So I could definitely see that here, him wanting to show up big tonight. All right, will the Knicks show up big tonight? Because that felt like a gut punch. Like our season is now really on the ropes. Lost last night for the New York Knicks against the Atlanta Hawks. Can they rebound on a back-to-back as they go to Charlotte to take on the Hornets? At the same time, do you want to lay 7.5, 8 points with Charlotte as home favorites in this game, 224? I don't really know if I want to do either. Take the Knicks or lay this many with Charlotte. And I said the other day, I'm mad that I didn't take New Orleans, even though New Orleans was on a back-to-back. And I didn't trust Charlotte laying 6 against that Pelicans team. And even though they had Graham and Ingram questionable in that game, and they still didn't cover the number, laying 5.5. They won 106-103, but they didn't cover in that game, Charlotte. I don't want to lay these kind of points with Charlotte. But, for the Knicks, that was the team they got to try to catch. They got the 10th spot, the last play-in spot. You needed to close the gap against that team if you're the Knicks, and you lost. And now you're further behind, and now you're on a back-to-back. You know what I mean? It's tough right now, this game all around. I don't want to lay this many with Charlotte, but Knicks on a back-to-back. Knicks have been good as road dogs, I will say that, and on the road in general lately. 6-0 ATS, their last 6 road games, and 6-0 ATS, their last 6 as a road dog. So that does point toward the Knicks here for me. I'd probably take New York before I take Charlotte, but I don't know if I trust this team. That was a gut punch loss last night against Atlanta. I do kind of lean over the total. I cashed an over with the Knicks. I keep saying this team is more offense than the defense continues to disappoint at times. Certainly Charlotte's capable of lighting it up and capable of giving it up at the other end. So maybe I get there with the over. I'd lean slightly to the Knicks, but again, it will be a game without Julius Randle, doubtful to play with a quadricep injury. Maybe I get there with the over. Other than that, probably won't play a side, just to lean New York. Dutch, we'll go to you first here. Knicks, Hornets.
Yeah, man. Big shout out to our guy, Jay Wills, Sam I Am. I see you. Felix, Skee. This is why I broke down that exotic ass backwoods so much. I got a lot of backwoods going. I'm not talking too much about any of them. So backwood this motherfucker. Wham Bam, you touching your boy Rozier? Is that who you're going with? You going Rozier?
Yeah, nah, bro. We're not gonna touch with Rozier, but I'm thinking Miles Bridges though. I think Miles Bridges is probably a good spot here. I mean, he's shooting 5, averaging about 5 attempts to 3, and he's hitting 3.3 at 55% at a crazy ass clip, bro, against a team that their season is pretty much over. No Julius in the lineup. Maybe they gonna get Zion. Who knows how this shit gonna play out for them in the future? But I think, like you said, Ian, they're pretty much cooked, bro. So I'm looking towards Miles Bridges, man, in this game. Over 2.5 threes at big plus money. Over 1.5 threes, just to make sure we be safe here. So I think he gets 2 for sure, but the over 2.5 threes, that's a play for me as well.
Yeah, to me, this I don't trust the mentality and the psyche of the New York Knicks after last night. I don't. That's why, even though I like the road dog stats, I don't trust Charlotte laying 8. There's enough to say, you know what? I don't trust New York either tonight. What do you think, Skee?
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. It threw me off when he say Miles Bridges, because whenever I hear his name now, I just think about his lyrics. So I'm over here trying to remember what he's talking about, spin like Siakam or something like that. I don't know, but this game is Well, I know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Hey, that's gonna be the video, bro. We're gonna drop that today. That's gonna be the video, dog.
Yeah, you got to do it. It's only right. Knicks, hell no. They stink. I've been saying they stink. Sorry, Tiffany. I know you're driving. You can't defend yourself.
Hey, you did
But
take him against Washington last week a couple of times. Portland, yeah.
but the Knicks, man, I don't think they're good. You got Julius Randle sitting out. They just played yesterday. And in my mind, they don't really have a shot to make the playoffs. I know if they lose this game tonight, they're gonna cash that win total under for me, and they're well on their way to cash that Knicks not to make the playoffs for me. So when Knicks lose, they lose by margin. Out of their 42, 42 losses, they've only covered 6 of them. They lose by an average of 10 points per game. Hornets, they're one of those teams who still got something to fight for. You heard me talking about Atlanta earlier. They, fight for a position in seeding over there. They're 37 and 35 right now. They do have the rest advantage. And just looking at them this year, when they're a favorite with that rest advantage, you guys know how much I like that spot. They're 8-1 straight up. They're 6-3 against the spread. They win by an average of 10 points per game. I think they're going to be much more motivated than the Knicks, and they win by double digits. So I like the Hornets in this game.
Hornets laying the points there for Skee with that one. There it is, Greg Madden. Thank you very much. $10 dono. Appreciate it, my friend. Thanks for watching and supporting the Pub Sports Radio channel and, of course, the NBA Pub Hub. We appreciate it. All right, Golden State, Miami. Next up, we've got the Heat 8-point favorites. They're up to 9.5 now in this game as home favorites. 209.5 the total. This is your take a powder game right here for the Golden State Warriors, which I kind of thought. I saw the tweet yesterday. One of the guys that covers the Warriors saying Steve Kerr was asked about whether Draymond and Klay Thompson and Steph Curry would get the action on the second of a back-to-back against the Heat. The answer is no, they will not. It's kind of what he didn't know at the time. He didn't answer it. He said, we'll see. But we'll see was kind of like an answer right there that probably they are going to get rested. And sure enough, that's what's going to happen here. No Curry, no Draymond, no Klay Thompson. And after losing to Orlando last night, bad loss, Draymond Green saying we got punked, and he's right. He got punked. That's a bad loss like that to Orlando last night. To now come back, if you're Steve Kerr, and rest all these guys on a back-to-back after a bad loss to Orlando tonight against Miami. You know what that tells me? How do you bet Golden State a lot the rest of the regular season? They basically told you they don't give two shits right now about these regular season games, the way they're playing, and Kerr is sitting all these guys after a horrendous loss last night to the Magic. And now you're sitting all your guys. It's going to be hard to make a case. You're going to have to find some damn good information and quotes and reason to back Golden State in some spots, because this looks like a team that just wants to get this regular season over with and get to the playoffs right now. So, there's no way I'm taking Golden State here. I'm actually going to go Miami double up here. Look, we got caught in this trap the other night, right, with people resting for Philadelphia against Miami, and Miami shit the bed and lost the game. They were bet up to 8-point favorites, for crying out loud, right before tip-off, and they lost the game outright. So maybe this is deja vu, but I don't think so, because they lost that game. They're back home at the house. Golden State is just, I think, laying down, and they're taking a powder, all right? They're taking a powder, I think, in this game, Golden State, from the looks of this lineup. So when I look at this situation here for Golden State, I just think it's going to be a bad night. They're walking into a Miami team that's going to be wanting to bounce back tonight. Looks like Miami. Jimmy Butler is the only questionable here right now. Game time decision with his ankle injury. Tyler Hero actually is as well, but I get that sense they might play, and the number's gone up, so I get the sense that both of them are going to be in. I would only go Miami first half full game split here. Miami first half -5.5, and the full game -9.5. Wham, what do you think here? Warriors Heat.
Yeah, man. 10 players available. Golden State Warriors, like you said, man.
No
They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck, bro. But the guys are getting their stats. Jordan Poole did cash the 22.5 points. I think you maybe see a little bit higher than that today for sure. Yeah, I want nothing to do with this game, bro. I think the Heat probably could win. They are off a loss. Yada yada. I'm gonna stay away, man. What you think, Dutch? You fucking with this one, Dutch? How you fucking with this one, man?
Man, you already know I'm not touching this. I can't lie to you, man. I'm still salty as fuck about the Miami motherfucking Heat the other night.
Yeah, me
You know,
too,
they
bro.
took me on the motherfucking back streets and beat the fuck out of me. So I'm not gonna touch
You got
this
to
game,
believe that
to
some
be honest.
tomfuckery was involved there. It sure
Yeah,
felt.
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And like I tweeted out, man, I'm gonna let that shit slide, man. I'm not fucking with Miami for a minute. I might give it another week and then I'll be back. But right now, I'm not fucking with anything that has the Heat on it, and I'm definitely not fucking with them sorry ass Warriors. Ski, you going with your boys?
I don't even know who's playing tonight, man. Back with this motherfucker. You
There
know
you
what I'm
go.
saying?
Yeah. I should probably stay away too, but at least I threw out a pretty strong lean to Miami first half and full game. I probably might pump the brakes too until I see that Hero and Butler are in there for Miami. That was sickening. That was actually a game they still could have won straight up, Miami, the other night. It was a close game late. And then in the last 2 minutes, it's brick shot, miss shot, Maxey three. Miami gets the ball, brick shot, down the court, Shake Milton three. Down the court, miss shot, Maxey three again. And like it was a 1 point game. It turned into like a 10 or 11 point lead for the Sixers with under a minute to go. I mean, it's what the fuck is going on here? I mean, when I was watching that, I'm like, my gosh, something's funky here with this game when I saw it end that way down the stretch. But nevertheless, it is what it is. And what it is obviously a Golden State team with a lot of personnel out tonight. We'll see if they can shock Miami without these key players like Philly did the other night. All right, Brooklyn, Memphis. We got Brooklyn, 1.5 point road favorites, 238 the total in this one. I saw the ESPN NBA Today, folks, Malika, Kendrick Perkins, and Jefferson and all those guys down in Memphis at I don't know if they're showing the game. They probably are, but obviously it's some big deal because ESPN's on hand for this Memphis venue tonight for this Brooklyn-Memphis game. Now, it is a very much anticipated game, right? Brooklyn is now, at least they're trying to make this playoff push. They got Kyrie going to play tonight. Kevin Durant's healthy now, finally, and playing. It looks like Seth Curry is a game-time decision with an ankle issue. Steve Nash saying they're going to wait till right before tip-off to announce his status for this game. As far as Memphis goes, Ja Morant is out. That's the funny thing about this game for Memphis. Everyone's getting excited. ESPN's there, and Ja Morant's out with a knee injury, and he missed the last game as well against Houston because of this. So this will be a second straight game missing in action for the Memphis Grizzlies. Of course, without Ja the other night, they were still good enough to destroy Houston, 122-98. Actually, that was on Sunday afternoon. I went not big on Memphis, but pretty sizable with Memphis first half full game because they lost to Houston, believe it or not, the last time they played them. And I figured they're going to smack down the Rockets. It's exactly what they did on Sunday afternoon. As far as this game goes without Ja Morant, they can win without him. But Brooklyn is always one of those teams where you look at what they've done on the road lately. It's been a little bit better from them on the road. Covered against the Raptors. They did lose to Boston, but it was competitive. They only lost by 6. They just narrowly missed the cover. They beat Charlotte. They beat Philly on the road, beat down the Sixers on the road, and then they crushed Orlando in their last road game. If you're going to take Brooklyn, you take them on the road. I think it means more in the standings. Like Brooklyn's got to win games. They're not assured of anything right now. They got to win games, Brooklyn, with where they are in the standings. So it feels like a net spot, especially without Morant for Memphis. So I lean to the Brooklyn side here in this game a little bit. Dutch, we'll start with you, Brooklyn, Memphis.
Yeah, man. Big shout out to our guy, Mark Nick. Yeah, I agree a lot with what you said, Ian. And then people in the chat seem to think, Dan Kelly, I respect my guy, but I don't want to say that they're better, that they play better without Ja. I think it has a lot to do with scheduling as well. Ja's unbelievable. Now they tend other players. They have a deep team and they play as a team. So I think other players do step up, maybe a little more without Ja out there. But they're definitely a better team with Ja Morant, in my opinion. And now these two teams did play recently, not too long ago. And Ja, speaking of Ja, dropped about 38 on these motherfuckers and was dancing, showing off, dunking in KD in Brooklyn, So, and Kyrie wasn't there, didn't see it. It is KD or Kyrie's birthday today as well. Look for Kyrie to show out, but I look for KD, who had an off game in that game as well. He remembers Ja and them boys, pretty much punking them in Brooklyn and letting them know about it because that's what these young cats do. So you touched on it as well, Ian. Brooklyn is we like to fuck with them on the road. Why? Because their second best player is playing basketball and one of the best players in the fucking league, definitely offensively. So I look for KD, Kyrie, and these boys to get it done. I need Andre Drummond to compete with Adams, and as long as they can kind of match each other, I think KD and Kyrie will get it over. I mean, Dragic. I don't really give a fuck about Dragic, to be honest with you. As long as Kyrie's out there, I'd rather see Patty Mills and some more defense out there. Because with Kyrie and KD, you got enough fucking offense. And I do like Curry out there. I believe he's questionable to spread the court as a shooter. But you know what this comes down to is KD and Kyrie. They're 7-1 ATS last 8 on the road, 5-1 last 6 on the road versus winning teams, and 6-1 straight up overall last 7. So the Knicks quietly have been playing better basketball overall. They're 5-2 against the number last 7. Now, for the Grizz, been playing against the number. They're 5-5 last 10, so 500 against the number last 10 games overall. They're 0-4 ATS last 4 following a win. 1-6 ATS last 7 games after 7 or more days road trip. So I do like Brooklyn here a lot. I mean, you know, I don't want to fuck with no first quarter, first half. I think Brooklyn handles the business full game, -1, -2, whatever it is. They're going to be celebrating in Memphis. Also, I wanted to give a big shout out to our guy, Rayhan, writer for the 499 Dono, and also Mr. Know Something with the $20 Dono. Muchly appreciated. So let's hit that motherfucking train for our guys.
Thank you for the donos, Rayhan, and of course, Know Something, $20. We appreciate it, my man. Appreciate the love and the support. It means a lot to all of us. Means a lot to the boss man as well, Slaughter. So I'm sure appreciate it. Appreciation all around. Wham, what do you think here? Nets, Grizzlies.
Great game to watch, man.
Yes.
Like you mentioned as well, Ian, they highlighting the fuck out this game. And just to have Ja out, that kind of does give y'all, you know, that's what you get, motherfucking type shit for highlighting just one particular team there. But yeah, I think it's going to be a for sure show with Kyrie having his birthday here. We know he's fucking 5 game stretches for 4 weeks because he's not playing that much, but he is averaging 37 points after, you know, crazy ass shooting there. But for the most part, man, in this game, obviously, I would look towards Bruce Brown. I know it's been pretty successful. I'm thinking PRA now that you got Kyrie back, so maybe he doesn't get the same production with Kyrie on the point side of things. So maybe not keying on that. But Bruce Brown is the way I'm looking in this game. But other than that, I'm gonna just sit back and watch this game.
All right, Skee, what do you think here? Brooklyn, Memphis.
I'm with Dutch. I like Brooklyn. You know, it is another one of those spots where they're at a rest disadvantage, but Memphis does play again tomorrow. And just looking at what Memphis has done without Ja Morant, I see 16 games. They've won 14 of them, but it's not really versus no competition. You know what I'm saying? When I'm looking at, and I just typed in because the Nets are about a little bit above a 52% win team. When they're facing a 52% win team or better, they've only had 3 games without Ja Morant. And the 3 games they won, but they played the Sixers without Embiid. They played the Mavericks without Luka. They played Miami without Bam, and I think somebody else. So, you know, they're not really beating nobody. You got a motivated net squad here with both of their star players fighting for position. I think that 5th seed through 10th seed in the East, like each team is separated by 1 game each. You know what I'm saying? So they come into play is what I'm trying to say. I don't trust these secondary guys versus all the star power that Brooklyn has. So give me the Nets tonight.
It just means more this game to Brooklyn because they're where they are in this. They need wins. You know, like I said, they are not assured of anything right now. You know, they got to win games here down the stretch, and we'll see if that gets them into victory tonight against Memphis. All right, Utah and Boston next up. Celtics 4.5-point home favorites, 215.5 the total. In this game. Obviously, Boston returning home off a perfect road trip. 4 games on that road trip, 4 victories. Golden State, Sacramento, Denver, and then OKC. Kind of a bad beat, though, if you laid 13 with Boston against OKC. They were up big most of that game and kind of fell asleep with a big lead in the 4th quarter, and OKC went through the back door, lost by 9 in that game. As 13.5-point dogs. And now you got Boston back home off that 4-game trip. This is normally a bet against spot for me, but Boston's playing too well right now. And I know it's not the greatest spot. They're home off that road trip, but they're playing great basketball. Other than a close loss to Dallas, they've been phenomenal lately. And I don't really trust the Jazz to beat anybody good. I'll be quite honest, especially on the road. You know, they lost to Dallas on the road by 8, lost to the Spurs on the road. They beat the Knicks, big deal, and lost to Brooklyn on the road in their next game. I mean, I don't trust Utah to beat anybody good on the road. Can they beat people that are good at home? Yeah, Chicago, they did that. They also lost to Milwaukee at home. But when they're on the road, I don't necessarily trust the Jazz here, to be quite honest with you. I'd like this more if Boston wasn't in this spot, home after a road trip, especially a successful road trip. You see teams fall flat usually in that situation, but I don't know if they'll fall flat here. It's a good Utah team coming in. You're playing good basketball. You're the better team right now. You're going to have Marcus Smart and Robert Williams available tonight for the Boston Celtics. Smart didn't play against OKC, and neither did Robert Williams. So you're going to have both of those guys back on the floor. And that's why I like the over with Boston and OKC the other night, because they're missing some defense, and it definitely showed in that game. So I think Boston with Smart and Williams back on the floor, they play better defense. They win the game, and I think they cover. Don't like it as much as I would if they weren't in this spot off a road trip, but I still like them enough to take them and lay the 4.5 here with Boston. The total's gone down, and I agree. Williams and Smart coming back means you get more defense, and I think the game might go under the total, but it's down to 215. This total's been hammered. 8-point move down with this total. Chill Will, we appreciate the dono. $20. There you go. The donos matter too, because Pub Sports Radio is piling up the bills, putting this Pubapalooza together for us down in San Antonio. So we appreciate it. Certainly the donos. Much love to you. Thank you very much for the dono. Skee, we'll start with you on this one. Jazz Celtics.
I like the Celtics. To me, they're playing the best basketball in the association for a while now, like the last couple months. You mentioned they're going to be healthy, have all their guys in there, and they're still battling for that Atlantic division. They're tied, I think, with the Sixers right now, and I just think they're gonna bring it. Utah on the road, not a believer. Let me just see their record real quick: 19-16, 15-19 against the spread. I don't think the Jazz are good in general, so I'm always up to fade them. So I like the Celtics here tonight. It's a chance for them to beat on the Jazz, because the Jazz have beat them like the last 4 times. And as far as the total, I agree with what you said. If you don't have those guys in, you do look towards overs. But even now, the first half just seems a little bit too low. At 105, the last 10 games for Boston, they're averaging a little bit over 106. And for the Jazz, last 10 in the first half, they're averaging like a little bit over 111. So if you give me 105, I have to take it even though those guys are in.
All right, there we go. Liking the over in the first half here, Skee, with the Jazz and Celtics. All right, Dutch, Utah, Boston.
Yeah, man. Big shout out to our guy Nasty Nate saying Celtics smash. I'm
he
right
does,
with you.
But I agree with
man.
him here. He's right this time. I think they do.
I agree with him though. I agree with him. He's been right lately too. I agree with my guy Ski. Yeah, man. The Celtics, and you could talk about. You said Ian was referring to being back off the road trip. These motherfuckers lost 4 straight versus the Utah Jazz. So if anybody, I don't believe they'll be, overlooking Utah after losing 4 straight to them. Also, you got your pit bull out there, Marcus Smart. He runs the show out. He ain't gonna let these motherfuckers overlook it. My guy Ray Charles said Tatum 30 plus easy without a blowout. I see that, man. I mean, Tatum's just been going off. Utah's beat up as well. And even with the guys in the lineup, they still are damn near auto fade on the road. 1-6 ATS last 7 on the road. 2-9-1 ATS last 12 as a dog. And then, we look at Boston. They've won 4 straight here. Average win, 20 points per game. So not only are they winning, they're thumping motherfuckers, playing the best basketball. They've been playing good basketball for a very long time. They're 6-1 ATS last 7 versus a winning team. 9-1 straight up last 10, and 9-2 straight up last 11 at the house. 6-3 1 against the number last 10 overall. I love me some Robert Williams back in the lineup. We talked about how Al Horford brings to the table, doing exactly what he needs to do. I like the kid Pritchard, just like almost automatic from 3 lately off the bench. White, perfect addition. And then, of course, you got Jason Tatum and JB to do the rest. Marcus Smart's running the show, sets the tone on the defensive end. This should be a double-digit win. Easy money here, I believe, with the motherfucking Leprechauns at the house.
All right, liking Boston here. Wham, what about you?
Yeah, man, both teams top 3 defense over the last 5 games. One is a top 4 offense, and that's Boston Celtics, man. I think Boston is a good side here, but y'all know where I'm going to go here. I shouldn't really have to say any stats here, but Marcus Smart over 5.5 assists at plus money, plus 116. Got to give me some of that, bro. Over last 7 games, 5 out of the last 7 games he's hit, averaging 6.4 assists in that span. Give me Marcus Smart over 5.5 assists. Neither say no more, man. It's nothing else to be said, bro.
No, nothing else needs to be said. I agree with that. All right, next up, we've got Orlando and Oklahoma City. Here we go. Magic and Thunder. We've got the uh, looks like the Magic here, 2-point favorites in this game on the road, 221 the total in this game. Look, the Magic, they did beat Golden State. They did beat OKC at home previously. And they did beat Golden State last night. Say what you will, they're not playing well. They had guys out, but still, they beat Golden State. That's impressive. But it's back to back. It's a rest advantage for OKC. It's a rapid revenge spot for OKC. I actually like OKC here, +2, even with all. I don't trust Orlando one bit after that kind of win last night, and now on a back to back on the road. I don't trust it one bit. Orlando to play that way again here tonight. Still a little bit banged up too. Fultz, Harris, Carter, and Suggs, although Wendell Carter still might play. He's questionable with an ankle injury. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, we're always wondering if he's going to play. He's questionable. Remember, he didn't play Sunday against Orlando when the Magic beat the Thunder in that game, but he returned for 31 points against Boston the other night. He's questionable tonight. I think he's going to play, quite honest, because he played against Boston. My guess is he's going to be in tonight. Of course, it's still everybody else that's been out for a while, still out for the Thunder. Giddey, Robinson, Earl, Lou Dort ain't coming back. Actually, I like 2 plays in this game. OKC, I like the over as well. I've been betting these OKC overs, especially if SGA's in there. They'll have some offense, but they won't have much defense, and that's been the way it's been for the Thunder especially since Lou Dort went down. So I like the Thunder as a home dog, +2. I like the over as well. What do you think, Wham? Magic Thunder.
Muted, bro.
Yeah, I'm over here tripping, bro. My fault. Yeah, this is a backwood, man. What you think, Dutch, bro?
Yeah, backwood this motherfucker, man. It's almost as bad as Nasty Nate, his little comment in the chat, bro. But yeah, backwood this motherfucker.
There it is. Double backwood here. Wham and Dutch. Skee, are you going to make it a backwood?
If SGA plays, I probably would like it over. And I agree, just fade their defense because they allowing like the last 10, maybe 11 games, close to 130 points per game. They're just terrible. So it'll be over if SGA's in or SGA points.
There you go. Over the total or SGA over points prop if he ends up playing tonight for the Thunder. All right, we got the Suns and the Timberwolves now. We got Phoenix 1-point road favorites, 237 the total in this game. Should be an interesting one. Minnesota, of course. Boy, they came back strong against Dallas, but fell just short the other night, 110-108 in that game. Phoenix, they escaped Sacramento in overtime, 127-124. It wasn't their best game. Now they'll go to Minnesota, where Minnesota's been great at home lately. This is a dangerous game for Phoenix because Minnesota's been playing very good basketball on their home floor lately. We'll see if they keep it going here. Who's going to be in the game for Phoenix is a big question. Cam Johnson's out. Chris Paul remains out. Looks like none of those guys are coming back, but you will have Devin Booker, Mikal Bridges, Jay Crowder, DeAndre Ayton, Cameron Payne. Looking like that's going to be the starting 5 for Monty Williams and the Suns tonight. As far as the Timberwolves are concerned, it looks like Jaden McDaniels out. Karl Anthony Towns is a little bit questionable, though. Forearm injury, forearm issue. He hasn't missed a game this year, though. Let's keep that in mind. He's been pretty good in that regard in terms of, and this injury hasn't caused him much trouble this season for the Timberwolves. So give him credit for that. He's been Mr. Durable. Actually, he has missed games this year, but it hasn't been since January 5th. He hasn't missed games because of this injury, the forearm. That's what I meant. But yeah, he hasn't missed any time because of this forearm. So it makes me think he's probably going to end up playing here tonight for Minnesota. I don't know. I'm tempted to go to Minnesota here, get that Timberwolves fan club back up in operation here tonight, and maybe look toward Minnesota here. Although it's a pick 'em, they're going to have to win the game, but they are 24-12 at home. Phoenix has been, I didn't like the way Phoenix just barely got their way past Sacramento that last game. They did beat down Houston, New Orleans. They did beat down Miami on the road. So we've seen some good road performances. They lost to Milwaukee as well on the road. So they've had a little bit of all over the map type of results. I don't know if I get involved here, but lean right now to the Timberwolves here a little bit. And this one is a slight home dog. What about you, Wham? Phoenix, Minnesota.
I kind of would agree with you, man. They covered 10 of the last 12 games. They're probably a real complete team now that everybody's pretty much healthy. And like you mentioned, Cat has been very reliable here. And going against another big man, this is a chance for him to kind of solidify that he's at least the top 3 big man under Embiid and Joker there. So I would like to see the Minnesota Timberwolves cover this game. That's kind of the way I'm looking. Y'all know how I do. I pretty much got a nice little car so far. So once I see this game, I'm like, man, maybe I might get involved with this Minnesota Timberwolves here. Maybe not, but that's the way I'm leaning. I'm kind of with as well. Yeah.
All right, Dutch, how about you, Suns Timberwolves?
Yeah, man. Yo, this shit right here is exactly a motherfucking definition of an exotic backwood. Like, coin motherfucking flip. Flip a motherfucking coin and you pick this side, man. This is exotic as a motherfucker. I'm not touching this bitch because it is going to be an exotic backwood. Ski, you hitting this motherfucker?
All right, Ski.
You don't fade the Suns. They're on a 5-game win streak. I think they've won maybe even 9 of the last 10, something like that. So they have the rest advantage here. I know they play again tomorrow. It's a big game versus Denver, but they've been playing better than the T-Wolves to me. So you give me the Suns -1, I'm going to rock with them. I'm not catching the falling knife.
All right, like in Phoenix here with a nice roll, straight up roll that they're on. Houston, Dallas. We've got Dallas 10.5 point home favorites, 219 the total in this one. This is a tricky game. I mean, obviously Dallas is the better team. How incentivized are they to go out there and beat up the Rockets? They play Minnesota on the road on Friday night. That's their next game. Houston did beat Washington. Very impressive win, actually, 115-97. Not just beat Washington, blow them out. But that's Washington. Washington's awful. When they've played anybody good, I mean, 24-point loss to Memphis at home, 17-point loss to Phoenix at home. Somehow they lost by 25 at New Orleans. They get beaten by this Dallas team at home by 13 earlier this month, 12 days ago when they played them. They lose by 17 to Miami. You lose by 15 to Denver. You get my point. They're not competitive against anybody halfway good, halfway decent, or certainly anybody great. And so I cannot endorse Houston even getting 10.5. But the money has come in on the Rockets here in this game because Luka the Don's been ruled out. Davis Bertans not going to play. Tim Hardaway out. But the big one, obviously, Luka. As soon as he goes out, the money's going to pour in against Dallas. It's always the way it is. If anything, I'd lean Dallas here that they could still cobble their way to a double-digit win without Luka because Houston's just shown no ability to step up and compete against anybody good. So it's a lean Dallas, but it's a backwood. I'm not betting the game. What do you think here, Wham? Houston, Dallas.
Yeah, man. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I think that Houston might be pretty up for this game just based off of it just being a in-state rivalry. That type of feeling here, divisional opponent, it kind of gives me that type of vibes in this game. I will say that Dallas is definitely bar none, like it's levels to the shit, as I got Dutch will say, and these motherfuckers is definitely not on the level of the Dallas Mavericks, that's for sure. Luka, and the boys over there, they pretty much do it as they please. This could be a reason why we could probably get back on the Dorian Finney-Smith, but it hasn't hit lately. And I wasn't on the last game. My guy Skee talked about it, and I was like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't be on it. So I think I might be on it if I would be on it, anything on Dallas side. But I don't know, man. Christian Wood coming off a good game. Maybe he has another good game here. So I wouldn't be surprised if I see that as well. So it isn't a backwood for me because I am probably going to be hopping on this Dallas thing. I think it's just levels to it. But right now I haven't bet this game. So that's the way I'm looking. I'm thinking Dallas is going to probably hold it down. But again, I would be kind of skeptical. That's the reason why I haven't bet this or graded this higher than anything else because the divisional rivalry there.
All right, there we go. Skee, what do you think here? Houston, Dallas.
He said this is a Newport. That's a
new one right there.
Yeah, that's a new one right there.
The support, huh?
This is tough because usually I try to fade the Rockets defense, but I can't be betting overs when Dallas plays at home. So if I'm looking for any kind of points or something, Bam already talked about maybe Finney-Smith, but I think without Luka, you're gonna see Brunson distribute a little bit more. So I like his assist at 5.5, and that's what I roll with in this game.
Yeah, is there value on the over now? Because sometimes we say when Luka sometimes when he's on the floor, he slows things down. He walks the ball up. So maybe we get the over a little value now because they've just bet the shit out of the under because of Luka being out. 228, it's 219 now. It's a 9-point move. I mean, I just might have to bet the over out of principle in this game just because Houston and 219, that doesn't mix to me. That's too low for Houston. We'll see if that's true. What do you think, Dutch? Houston, Dallas.
Yeah, shout out to our guy. Ron Crawford, I see you, my dude. Ray Charles liking Dinwiddie, thinking he's gonna go off. I could see that. AOD, I see you, my guy. Star Child says too many backwards. My man, come the fuck on, bro. You here daily, bro. And I didn't really giving you nothing but motherfucking winners. And now you want me just to force a fucking pick when you got my guy Ian breaking down the whole motherfucking game already? Come on, man. I'm back with this bitch just for you, Star Child.
Which is true. I break down a game even if I don't have a penny on it. That's the thing. It's like a 5-minute detailed analysis with no bet on it for me every single time. Yeah. Man, great stuff. That's why it's a great crew. We got a little of everything. We've got someone that'll talk 5 minutes about a game that no bet on it whatsoever, and Dutch will talk 5 seconds about it. So it's a great mixture. You got to love it. All right, we got everybody's favorite team to talk about here, Philly and the LA Lakers. We got Philly 9.5-point road favorites, 227.5 the total in this one. Sorry to say this, Laker Nation, but we're on the Sixers first half full game here. I think it's about to be show up and show out if you're the Sixers, because you're going to have all hands on deck. Embiid's in, Harden's in. You got your starting 5 there tonight for the Sixers. You're coming off actually a shocking win against Miami. Didn't expect that. Lost before that against Toronto. But you look at the Sixers, when Embiid and Harden have both been on the floor, the results for the most part have been pretty good for this team. And now you get the Lakers coming back after a 4-game road trip. Although they won against Cleveland, LeBron had a huge game back close to home, 131-120 in that one. They're returning home off a road trip. You got Philly starting one, and certainly going to be amplified and ramped up here to play this Laker team. I think they'll probably get the job done. They played the Lakers last year in LA. They won by 8. We'll see if they can carry that over. They've covered 6 of the last 7 head-to-head against the Lakers, the Sixers team. So, it's a big number. It's gone up 6 to 9.5 because of all the injury news. So you're not getting the best of it now. I think I got 4.5 on Philly first half, and I got Philly 7.5, 8. I got it 8 the full game, but it's a little bit more than that now. Philly 5.5 for the first half, and Philly 9.5 for the game. But I certainly would lean Sixers, even if you haven't bet it yet. What do you think, Wham? Sixers, Lakers.
Yeah, Russell Westbrook, first person I thought about when LeBron gets announced out. He's been playing all right. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't gonna say he's been playing great. Borderline decent. You feel me? As far as him getting a triple-double today, I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. But you got to key in on his assists. I would think that would be the first place that you think he's going to have a ball in his hands, unfortunately. So maybe some of those turnovers does get into these guys' hands miraculously, and he gets the bucket there. So the assist prop was what I was thinking here. But did I have any action on this game? No, I wouldn't be surprised if Philadelphia smash and rolls, though. So I do agree with you, Bavano, on that spot. The only reason why they've been playing good when those two guys are in there, because they picked their poison. Like, obviously, they picked their poison against the Heat and, roll their dice and they won. That was cool and all shit. But against this team here without LeBron, they should be able to smash here. So I wouldn't be surprised if they roll here for the Philadelphia 76ers. But I wouldn't be surprised if they lose. And I'm hoping that they lose today. And not just because I'm a Laker fan, but just because I have the Boston Celtics and we still tied with these bums. So hopefully they lose today. And that's the only way that my heart is really going to be. But as far as the point of the play, for me in this game, it would probably be Russell Westbrook if I lay anything.
So Westbrook props perhaps for Wham if he's going to get involved here. Dutch, Sixers, Lakers.
Yeah, man. I'm not gonna bet this game, to be honest with you, but I mean the whole world's gonna be on the motherfucking Sixers. Probably be on a money line, all that bullshit money line parlay shit. So I wouldn't be surprised if you do see some fuckery.
Yeah.
But the Sixers should handle him, very easily now. But I would look for James Harden. I'm not fucking with the props, and I definitely don't want to, back James fucking Harden. But if you do like James, this would be a game that he probably would show out against, obviously, Russ, LBJ and them boys laughing at James, this is LA. So I would look for, Harden to have a game. But, this game's nowhere near. I don't even want to watch this game, to be honest with you.
All right, Backwood here for Dutch with Sixers and Lakers. All right, Skee, Sixers, Lakers. Brief thoughts.
I think in that Sweet 16 game everybody's going to, I like Houston first half full game. I think the line is just kind of telling me that's the play. Arizona, I wasn't impressed with how they beat TCU, and Houston's been pretty damn impressive. They got depth issues, like they only play like 6 guys, but like having this time off in between this game, I don't think it's gonna bother him that much. Maybe if you want to fade Houston, fade on next game. So I'm splitting it up. They're both plus money, plus 105, and we'll see how it shakes out. I'll see you guys at the game in San Antonio.
I can't wait for that. That both games are terrific. I mean, Michigan, Villanova, with both of those. Michigan's playing good now. They're not Michigan where earlier in the year, no, you're not as interested in watching that team. No, they're playing well. Their best players, Dickinson and Brooks, are playing well. Villanova's playing well. And Houston, Arizona are terrific teams. I mean, those are two good games tomorrow night. Looking forward to it for sure. And it's a proof I agree with the Houston side. It's proof that I don't give a shit about my bracket because I picked Arizona to win the national championship. But I think they might be going down against Houston. I like the way Houston's playing.
Oh yeah. One more time, one more thing too. Houston, pretty damn close to San Antonio. I think it's gonna be a lot of love for Houston in that building, maybe some home advantage.
Yeah. Arizona will travel well, but Houston's going to have a lot of people. There's no question. Cougar Nation, I'm sure, will be well represented there. Spurs and Blazers, final game of this NBA slate. Spurs 9-point road favorites, 230.5 the total here in this game. Portland, I believe, is returning home off a road trip, I believe. Yes, they are. It's the first game back from that trip. Long road trip, too. They've been on the road for 10 days through 5 games. And now they're back home with just a day off after beating Detroit. I mean, it's definitely a San Antonio spot to maybe smack them down. They're not great as road favorites, though, at times, this San Antonio team. That's the one little bit of hesitation I have laying the points here. I certainly wouldn't take Portland, but I don't know if now I'm going to lay, 9.5 with San Antonio. I don't know if they're the kind of team I feel comfortable doing that, but Spurs are pass for me. I'd maybe split it up here, first half, full game. I might end up on that. We'll see how the night goes. It's a late game, but I certainly, if I'm going to play it, it would be San Antonio. Maybe even more so, -5.5 first half, and also look toward 9.5, 9.5 for the full game here. I mean, for the Blazers, what are you going to do? I mean, you've got Williams, Ellaby, Winslow, Watford, Eubanks, your starting 5. I mean, Bledsoe, Hart, Nurkic, Simons, Dame Lillard, anybody that matters to this team is out. It's going to be hard for them to compete here. I thought the Spurs probably roll. What do you think here, Dutch? Spurs, Blazers.
Yeah, back with this motherfucker, man.
Back with this motherfucker.
Bam,
too. How about Skee?
Hey, we got net profits coming up next anyway. I'm going to go DeJounte Murray, rebounds and assists over 17.5. He's been rebounding pretty damn good. I think you could even just look at his rebound prop at, I think it was either 6.5, 7.5. He's been having like 9 a few games. But he hits this number versus bottom 10 defenses. That's exactly, or 12 out of 18 times, I think it was, versus bottom 10 defenses. And that's exactly what Portland is. You look at the last 5 games, absolute worst defensive rated team over the last 2 weeks. I know they're giving up 123.3 points per game. And over the last 5 games, they're also 3rd worst rebounding team. So DeJounte Murray, rebounds plus assists over 17.5.
There you go. Rebounds and assists, DeJounte Murray for the San Antonio Spurs for Skee with this one. All right. That's great. That's it. That is the Wednesday NBA slate. We thank everyone for joining us. Hit the like button. 389 live viewers tuning into the NBA Pub Hub. Hit that like button. Come on, double hit the like button because we're not here tomorrow. So let's show some love right here. Hit that like button. We'll have no show tomorrow. There's 5 games, but, I'm getting into town. Skee's getting in tomorrow. Dutch is going to be packing and getting ready to join us on Friday. Same with Wham. So we're looking at, Friday is going to be our next Pub Hub show, and I'll be there in San Antonio. Skee will be there in San Antonio. We'll probably try to see if Jimmy will join us too for that Friday show on location, 4 p.m. Eastern. Same time, 4 p.m. Eastern, but we'll be back with you on Friday for sure. And it's a big Friday card, much bigger than it is tomorrow. So no show tomorrow, no NBA Pub Hub tomorrow, but we will be back on Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern time for our final show of the week with the NBA Pub Hub live and in person from San Antonio. So we're looking forward to that. All right, we're looking forward to best bets too and seeing if I can continue this insane best bet streak. That's 25-7 now for me with the best bet streak. Dutch is on an insane run with the freshest look. We'll see if we can keep it rolling coming up. Southtown 101 when you're in San Antonio, Texas. We got people down there already from our group, and I'll be there tomorrow and the rest of the week. And a lot of us will be there for the next week. Join us, Southtown 101, San Antonio, Texas. Great food, drinks, live music, DJs, karaoke. Manscaped, promo code PubSports, 20% off your purchase. Lawnmower 4.0 or any Manscaped product, 20% off with promo code PubSports. And MyBookie.ag, NBA, college basketball, Sweet 16, Elite 8 this weekend. Baseball's coming up. NHL, UFC, sign up for an account, mybookie.ag, Bitcoin accepted currency for your deposit, mybookie.ag, promo code PubSports. All right, it is best bet and freshest look time for a Wednesday. Dutch, and actually, you know what, Wham, we'll start with you here. What do you like for best bet?
Yeah, man. First off, shout out to everybody that join us and watches every day. We know Tiffany, Dan Kelly, Ray Charles, our guy non-applicable, all y'all. We appreciate y'all, Aaron Garza. Appreciate you, man. We're going to give y'all two best bets. We cashed the last two. Let's keep it going, Blad. We're going to Jeremy Grant over 18.5 points, minus 115. We're going to do Miles Bridges over 1.5 3-point makes at minus 141. I'm going to go over that as well to the 2.5, but we're going to just lock in the 1.5 as the best bet. Those two is what we rocking with, man.
There we go. Double dose of best bets here for Wham today on the Wednesday edition. All right, Dutch, here you go. Freshest look. It's been hot as a pistol. What do you got?
Yeah, man. Freshest look. We're going to Beantown. We're going motherfucking bleed green. Me and the Leprechaun, man. We on our way to the motherfucking window. Later points, 4.5, 5, whatever it is. Be a blowout. It's good money.
There you go. Pot of gold at the end of that rainbow for the Boston Celtics tonight, minus 4.5 against Utah. Freshest look for Dutch. Skee, what do you got for best bet?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Brooklyn. The Grizzlies, they've been looking good, without Ja, but they ain't really been playing nobody. So too much star power, too much motivation for the Nets. They're gonna get the job done tonight. Give me Brooklyn as a pick 'em.
All right, there we go. Brooklyn Nets, money line, pick them, whatever you can get against Memphis. Best bet there for Skee Profit for this card tonight. My best bet is going to be, look, we don't know yet the situation here with this Orlando game, so I'm going to stay off that. I'm going to go with Brooklyn too. That is a good one. I like Brooklyn as well. I'm going to rock with that. Brooklyn Nets money line minus 115 against Memphis. I just like the way they're playing on the road. They've shown up in these road games against good teams. Like, remember when they absolutely just pumped Philadelphia just recently on the road? I don't know if they'll pump Memphis, but without John Morant, I think they'll do enough to win, and that's all they need to do. So Brooklyn minus 115 against Memphis, my best bet for this Wednesday NBA card. And that's a wrap. I will see you in San Antonio, everybody, because that's where I'm headed to next. Can't wait to get there tomorrow. Looking forward to seeing everybody there. A reminder, no show tomorrow, but we will be back on Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern, for our next edition of the NBA Pub Hub right here on Pub Sports Radio. For Dutch, for Wham, for Skee, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Wednesday night. We'll see you Friday for another NBA Pub Hub right here on Pub Sports Radio. Dutch, take us home.
Yeah, man. You know where it's at, Pub Sports Radio. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share the video. Yo, salute to the real ones. Y'all stay fresh, stay blessed. Let's stay putting these motherfucking bookies to rest. Yeah, man.